morning. I'm Barbara Lash. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Well, we have search warrants just released a few hours ago. These pages breaking down every item taken from former Mayor Patrick Cannon's home, parking business, and the mayor's office. Jenna Cayazzo gives us the details of exactly what they found.
More than 10 pages of items seized from 3 locations in the Charlotte area. Patrick Cannon's home in Ballantyne, his office at the Government Center uptown, and his parking business on West Trade Street. Cannon's wife, Trina, and his mother, Carmen, both listed on the search warrants. Items like tax forms, multiple cell phones, keys, and iPads were taken from the Cannon home, along with flash drives and financial records. The FBI also got their hands on a handgun and centerfire pistol cartridge box. The FBI also seized items from his parking business, like a laptop, external hard drives, and a number of folders. The third location, Cannon's former office at the Government Center, was also raided. That's where they seized a brown Fossil briefcase given to Patrick Cannon on February 21st, 2014. The same briefcase, investigators say, contained $20,000 in cash. Jenna Cayazzo, My Fox Carolinas.
We are joined now by Corey Rosensteel from Rosensteel Fleischman, and he's going to help us better understand what's going on with the warrants, but also the bigger picture. But Corey, let's start with the warrants. This evidence was collected back on March 26th. Should we make anything of it being unsealed today?
I don't think so. I don't think that there's anything that we need to read into that as far as a message being sent or some sort of significance to the exact date today. What I do think that that's going to be interesting is what they get from that material. Of course, it's nothing sexy. There's not anything that exciting. There is a significant amount of cash, but the real question is what they're going to find in those computers and the PDAs and everything that the phones that they've gotten hold of.
It's probably safe to say they've looked through those initially, but I'm sure there's more to do.
Well, there's always a forensics issue whenever you've got that type of material. They have to check and see if there are deleted files that they may be able to access with some further investigation, maybe some hidden files, that type of thing. And sometimes it's a matter of breaking passwords or codes.
So let's talk about big picture here today. As we all know, the grand jury met today, but there's been no apparent action against the former Mayor Patrick Cannon. So what are we thinking may be going on?
Well, that's interesting, and that's a little bit of conjecture. The question is, number one, I think the initial thought that people might have about that is whether there is some sort of plea negotiation that's going on right now. Are both sides lawyers talking and talking about a potential for a plea? Of course, that's presuming that the ex-mayor intends to plead guilty, which we really don't know at this point. Right. And we don't want to jump to conclusions. But there are other things that go on during this period of time, including potentially other people coming forward and other information coming to light. It's certainly possible that we may find out that there are other people who are indicted as a part of this investigation. It may be that the ex-mayor himself is cooperating and giving names, or it may be that there are people who have come off the street, so to speak, to come in and talk to the prosecutors about this case.
It seems like such a strong case against him, but of course we can't assume that he's guilty. It's kind of challenging not to do that when you look at all the evidence that has been presented, and we haven't heard from the mayor or former mayor and his attorney. Well,
and that's an issue, of course. One of the things as the attorney that you want to put forth is, look, you've only heard one side of the story.
Exactly.
Still. And it's a couple weeks out, and we still have heard only one side of the story. That may be because the defense is trying to hold their cards close to the vest because they want to assert a defense later on, or it may just be that they choose not to say anything that may make the situation worse. They don't want to fan the flame.
Okay, we are hearing that the grand jury will meet again next week. Perhaps this will go in a different direction or move forward, but again, we have to always make sure that we communicate that he's innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely.
And again, we haven't heard his side of the story. Pretty anxious, though, to hear his side of the story, at least from his attorney.
I think we are all curious to hear what comes of this.
Corey Rosensteel, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your insight.
Always a pleasure.
A warning tonight out of Mecklenburg County. Health officials say a worker at the Papa John's restaurant on Cambridge